Hello and welcome back to the video on the Wrestlers Debate into another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. Survivor Series is just a few weeks away now, but we haven't started building to it for some reason. It seems very strange, but yeah. Anyway, we're on the road to Survivor Series. Will they start building it? Who knows? But yeah, I think it's just kind of getting to know the new roster on SmackDown. So let's get straight into it. Roman Reigns kicked off the show with the Usos and Paul Heyman. We got a recap of last week's altercation between the Usos and the New Day before the crowd chanted, "Roman, you suck." Roman talked about his vacation last week before reminding us of Brock's final suspension. He then got to the topic of the New Day, and said that they were going to lose to Jimmy Uso tonight. Jimmy said that he was going to make the New Day, acknowledged the bad line. New Day made their entrance and were doing Sir Kofi jokes, and then they were joking about Roman being head of the table. And Wood said he's going to beat Jimmy tonight, and that he would make him take the knee. The Usos were hesitant to attempt the challenge, but Roman took the mic and accepted the challenge for them. Set up a decent main event for the show, kind of added onto it because, you know, the story element was Roman, so on the whole it was a fine start to the show. Next up on SmackDown, Naomi took on Shayna Baszler. Naomi was able to put in some big moves early on, including a big boot on Shayna, before Baszler took her down. Naomi sent Baszler into the apron, hitting a dive. Outside the ring, Baszler hit a massive gut-wrench suplex, before Naomi got a roll-up for a quick win. But Sonya Deville came out and had the match restarted. Baszler came up behind Naomi and locked her into carry through the clutch, making a tap out as the show continued. To be honest, this was dreadful. Terrible contrived, 50-50 booking, just really, really poor. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. To be honest, not really into this Naomi storyline, and Shayna Baszler just a sideshow here. But backstage, Roman was still mad at the Usos and reminded him that they'd never lose. We got a video promo from Jali and Ridge Holland, and he said he was looking forward to meeting Sheamus. Give me that much. Shotzi was backstage and said that she had had nothing opportunities at looking for a tag partner, and that she wasn't looking for the support of the universe anymore, and Sasha Banks was going to be destroyed. Before we got Los Lotharios versus Cesaro and Mansoor. Garza and Mansoor kicked off the match, and the Lotharios had control early on before Mansoor was isolated in a corner, but did briefly get in control. However, it didn't last long because soon Cesaro was in control, cleaning house, and tossed Humberto around before hitting Garza with an uppercut. Garza was brought in with a 3 before the Cesaros wiped out Mansoor on the ropes and sent him outside before hitting Cesaro and double-teamed him for the win. To be honest, this is an interesting segment. 5.5 out of 10 I'll give it. I couldn't decide between a 5 and a 6. Poor Cesaro, what's happened to him in recent months, man? He's just gone back to his usual position. But it's great to see Los Lotharios getting the ring. 2 really talented wrestlers, so yeah, hopefully they get a bit of a push. Zayn was then giving advice to Aaliyah before Jeff Hardy scared him off. Kind of a weird segment, but whatever. Drew was out next for an open challenge, and Ricochet came out. Ricochet slapped him in the face. Drew unloaded on before the US champ, before Ricochet countered the tackle and sent Drew outside, before getting caught in the ring with an apron drop. Drew was still dominating and tossing Ricochet around. He then countered the moonsault and hit a claymore, picking up a rather quick victory. I mean, for a bit it lasted, it was really fun. Drew v Ricochet, great match, of course it was. Just wish it could have gone on longer and Ricochet could be treated as more of a threat. But you know, what it is. Ali wants to team up with Ricochet, but he said no and called him a jerk before walking out. Fair enough, pal. Before Happy Talk was still in the air for some reason with Corbin and Moss, and they were bragging about their victory last week. The Raiders came out and said that they wanted to raid the show before Corbin made fun of them and Moss made a terrible Viking joke, and a brawl immediately broke out, which led to a match. Ivar and Moss were the first in before Madcap hit a double team move. Moss then hit a spine buster and tagged Corbin back in as SmackDown continued. Corbin hit a deep 6 for a near fall on Eric before Ivar came back in. Eric sent Ivar into Moss in the corner before Madcap took out the powerbomb, but Corbin dragged him out of the ring. Ivar was about to hit a dive, but Moss and Corbin retreated backstage, taking a count out and giving the Viking Raiders the victory. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was a fine match, nothing special, but you know, on the whole it's perfectly fine. Sami Zayn said Hit Row's entrance was lackluster and that he would show the group how it's done after the break before Zayn made his entrance before Hit Row came out to tell him that he sucked and that they wouldn't trust him with anything. The crowd joined in on booing Sami and he walked out with a hurt ego while Hit Row was getting cheered from the crowd. Before it was main event time, King Woods versus Jimmy Uso. Woods started off strong and hit a side Russian leg sweep before Jimmy Uso went up to the top, but Woods drop kicked him. Jay sent Xavier outside before Woods was sent into the corner. Woods returned with a super kick and a running knee and then hit a leg drop from high up for a near fall before the Uso hit a Samoan drop from the ropes. and caused a near fall of his own before Kofi tried to hit a distraction, but only Jay's interaction was seen by the referee, and Woods quickly rolled up Jimmy to get the win. Jimmy hesitated to bend his knee as Roman came out and hit a Superman punch on Woods, and the Bloodline attacked the New Day. Woods tried to fight back, but was hit with double super kicks before Kingston took a spear from Roman. The Usos went off Kingston's knee for interfering in the match and hit a splash on it. Roman threatened Woods with some more before Smackdown went off the air. Kind of predictable where it's going, but I rate it a 7 out of 10. The Bloodline being New Day, match that I've waited to see for ages, and I think it's kind of leading up to a match at Survivor Series, and I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. Overall this week, SmackDown gets a 6 out of 10 from me. It was an okay episode of SmackDown this week, nothing special at all really, but there were some decent little segments in there, but honestly it wasn't my favourite episode that I've seen in SmackDown for a long time, but it was fine, not dreadful, but not brilliant either. But anyway guys, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, let your thoughts, comments down below, follow us, I think description for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel, screen, and they're greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!